Lisa here, sharing with you an invitation that if you'd like to come to the last masterclass I'll do for 2025. It's a game changer because it's what I've learnt from delivering for 6 weeks to the team members. Wow, such a different mindset to the business owner. And I can put it into a really succinct understanding for you so that you'll know where you can help your team members. It's absolute gold. Even all the years that I've been doing it, this has been a really good exercise because I'm working with them directly, no salon owners in the room. It's been really cool. So if you'd like to get that inside story on what I've found and how you can make that improvement for next year, you're most welcome to come to the class. There is no cost to the class. It is free for you. It's my way of giving back to the community. So if you'd like to come, if you can't come, then you can register and we'll send you the recording that you can watch after. So that might be more helpful, seeing it's a busy time of the year. The other thing I want to share with you is I'll be releasing my Black Friday sale, which is very exciting. And it's about next year. I invite at the end of the year a case study for the next year. And I have the results in from last year. Absolutely gold. Absolutely gold. So that is something that I can share with you in the masterclass as well. Looking forward to seeing you in the room, or perhaps you're going to watch it afterwards, whatever suits you. If you want to join me, just click the link below and you can register. And I can't wait to help you to understand your team better so that you can get them to perform. It's a win-win all around. Lisa here again. Welcome to Salon Conversations. This one, short, sharp and sweet. It's so important for us to understand that there's a disconnect between people who want an outcome, right? They want beautiful skin. They want gorgeous hair, but they don't understand what to do. And I think this is a really good way to explain to the therapist, esthetician, hairdresser, that everybody needs another one. Like, it's pretty damn simple. Everyone needs another one. So if somebody comes into your business, whether they're new or whether they are new to this service or whether they, like, one-offs don't work. It's pretty simple. You know, you can take one-off fish oil and it's probably better than not. You could take a one-off something, but everybody needs another one, right? Whether you are eating, whether you're exercising, whether you need love, whether you need a hug, you need another one. It's pretty simple. We need more water, we need more food, we need more love. And whatever you're doing to your skin, you need another one. Like, let's just have that conversation with people. So the reason we don't connect that your client needs another one is because we have this fear around sales. I don't want to be selling. Well, I don't want to, not a used cars, but salesman. Well, I think that's really mean to the used car salesman because he's got a job to do too, or she, right? So I think the elephant in the room for me is that clinics, salon owners, spa owners employ people without truly addressing what they want done, right? They want the services done. So they need someone to do the skin needling. We need someone to do the waxing. We need someone to do the thing. That's a no-brainer. But what they don't really address is we need someone who can tell it how it is and recommend like a motherfucker. There, I said it, right? Because if you don't, it's just so exhausting for you, the salon owner, because you got to keep feeding this machine, right? You keep putting the clients in the column, you keep getting the new clients into the business. And if we were to keep them, we wouldn't have to do all that work. And I know places that have changed the way they look at a single service to an ongoing service. And it's absolutely life-changing. It's life-changing for the person who's going to experience these skin treatments. It's life-changing for the person who's going to deliver them because they're going to get such joy from delivering something to someone. So one beauty treatment fixes nothing. Unless the person dies, then that's it. But apart from that, this person's going to need another one. So if they don't want that one, what do they want? And if they had great success and good outcomes, then they want another one. It just makes sense. So this not repeating for fear of sales is really crippling your success. And unfortunately, we are sensitive, and that's why we're people pleasers. We're sensitive. We don't want to feel salesy and uncomfortable, and therefore we miss an opportunity to connect the dots. So when you deliver a full and remarkable solution, and some of the things that we do can't be seen on the day, they have to be checked in a week later or a month later, or things take time, right? But if you don't have your finger on the pulse about the results, then it's very difficult to connect to another one. So what I see is a lot of clinic owners in particular have packages and ongoing, less than the hair, they don't. But the high-end clinics are really good at putting together a package that can be a bespoke package, or it can just be 3 of those, right? So if you buy 3 of those, then we give you this as a bonus. Or if you buy 3 of those, instead of this, it's this much, right? There's an incentive for the client to commit. And we know that when the client comes back consistently, then they get the results. That's it. Like, even I know as much as if I take I have a series of vitamin D's and B's and things for my ADHD, and I know that if I take them at the same time every day, I'll get a much better outcome than if I take them sometimes with my lunch and sometimes with my dinner and sometimes with my breakfast. It's not the same. So what I've changed to doing is taking the same time every day. Now, you might think, it's only a tweak. No, it's a big tweak. It's an absolutely big tweak. So consistency over time here is what I'm wanting you to understand. So consistency over time means that when you do your touch-up or your next appointment on time with the same person who understands what we did last time, and then we can turn up that pressure or down or whatever, you just get a better result. It's that simple, right? So we have to be really clear that the people that work in our business have to put their, I don't want to be salesy hat away and think, I want to be the answer. I'm the prize. I know this stuff better than your clients do. And if you have a struggle with just being open and honest, that's very different to pushy, right? So if you look at a client and think, she's not going to buy, she won't buy a package. I can tell she hasn't got any money. That's actually rude, and it's none of your business. And I just want people to understand that it's your job to recommend and it's their job to choose. And when people don't choose, it's not because you failed. And I don't think that puts pressure on anybody if it's done well, right? And that's why I think we have all accepted that we employ people to do the task, the skill, but we haven't accepted that this is so important, because if we don't have someone who's open and honest to share what the outcomes will be if we do things consistently, then there's no point. And my example has always been, like, remember when you're at school and you're in high school, and so middle school or whatever you call it in your country, because people listen to this all over the world, which blows my mind, but it's an interesting fact if you wanted to know. And I'm Australian, so there's a lot of things that I do and say that make sense to an Australian, but the trash can and the rubbish are 2 different things. So I'm not going to apologise. Just ask me if you want to know what I'm talking about. But the point is, when you have 30 children in a classroom and you've got different types of teachers, now these kids will sit still and behave and learn in somebody's classroom, and then they will run amok in another one. And a classic example is the art or the drama, because generally they're more feeling and emotional type people. They're not facts like science or maths. And so they're quite often you have the same behaviour of these 30 kids, completely different. And you think, these kids are feral. What's going on? And the principal walks past and says, these kids, they're out of control. And the teacher goes, I don't know what's going on. And then you walk past the same class of the same 30 kids with the science teacher or an English teacher or someone who's got control, because they give the outcome. They make it very clear, this is what happens, right? So if anyone speaks out of turn or acts up or does something they should, I'll call them out and they can come out here. If you pass a note to someone, bring it up and I'll read it. And so that's probably a bit unfair because you put the fear of God in them, but there are certain standards that give you certain outcomes. And the reason I'm telling you that story is because there are certain standards that give your clients certain outcomes. So if we're talking about skin outcomes, we're talking about hair outcomes, there's certain standards that will give you these outcomes. Now, if you don't hold those standards and if you don't explain the power of following them and the reason why we do, then we're out of control, aren't we? Right? So when the English teacher says, this is what we're going to get done today, it's going to take this much time and I'm not going to tolerate talking, and anybody who talks will be held in at lunchtime and I'll be watching. And the reason we're doing that is because I don't want to teach this to you over 3 lessons. This is a big part of your end of year exam and it's really important that you get it. So let's concentrate. You go, all right, now I understand. So that's no different. You're not selling an outcome as in money. She's selling a result. So if we can't sell a result to somebody by saying 1 session of skin needling is better than none, but it's not going to give you the results. From my understanding, you need to do 3 over a period of time and then you repeat it every year. That's what I heard. Now, maybe I'm not a beauty therapist and maybe the rules have changed and insert what the service is. But, you know, in hair, they do a treatment at the time of colour if they're lucky, and then they don't do another one. Like, why can't you do one for the next 3 Wednesdays? Come in, do the treatment, come in, do the treatment. Like, imagine how good that person's hair would be. Imagine how bouncy her curls would be if you could put the moisture back in. Own it, do it, and connect it to a package. So a package of these treatments is this much if you do it singly, it's this much together, or we throw in this leave-in treatment or heat protector or something. Make your packages and recommend a package because they'll get a better outcome. And the reason that I know that they can do this is because when a bride's about to get married, she'll do whatever it is to make her hair silky and shiny. And so she buys a package because you believe that she's got this deadline and it's really important for her to get the outcome for the deadline. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you just get the outcome for the client because the client deserves an outcome? Like, to me, it just makes logical sense. So if we have team members that like are just really uncomfortable, then we've got to start small and do it. We just got to practice it. We've got to practice recommending something to somebody on repeat. And everybody can learn it. The only ingredient you need is a desire to learn. That's it. So whether it's recommending one product or recommending one service or recommending the next appointment, whether it's just the next appointment or it's a package, it's the same. And so when we move from the power of yakety yak yak to the power of intention focused on the outcome and the freedom for people to choose, you let go of all of that. It's actually an incredible place to be. No is just as powerful as yes. It's okay. It's not a problem. We don't pin people down and we don't eye gouge them into giving us what we want. Like, it's just not about the money. It's about the outcomes. And when you shift from the outcomes, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. This casual visit into loyal packages. It's just the answer to everybody. It's just the answer. And so it's a skill like anything else. So you think about the first time you attempted to do something, you know, you went to put makeup on someone, you thought, oh God, it's not like I thought. I remember going to a makeup tutorial. It was about 10 weeks program, a couple of times a week. And I thought, oh, this is going to be so good because I missed working on the salon floor. And I had this idea that I might do makeup for a wedding. Oh my God, that was fine. Well, I put it on me and I did my daughter, which obviously had a similar face. And she was, I don't know, I was 50 at the time. She was probably 25. And then I tried it on my girlfriend and we just roared laughing because I put the eyeliner on her. And then when she opened her eyes, the eyeliner was like it drooped. And she goes, what have you done? I said, I don't know, there's something wrong with your eye. And we roared laughing. And I hadn't learned that everybody's eyes are different. And I just thought, wow, right? And so I didn't persevere and continue to be a makeup artist. Thank God for that. But I didn't have the desire. I didn't want to learn. So I didn't. But when it came to cutting hair, when it came to educating salon owners, when it came to teaching team members how to recommend, I do. And I keep going and I keep going and I keep going because the desire is there. Whereas my makeup, I should have taken a photo. It was absolutely hilarious. Because what I did, so the beauty girls are listening, I just followed the line of the eye and did a flick. You know how you do that lovely flick, which looks good on the people if they're 25. I did it on Sue's, and it was not a flick. I can tell you, it was horrendous. So what I've learned is you've got to over-exaggerate it and do it much higher than you think, so that when she closes her eye or when she opens her eye, it looks like in the right place. Anyway, it was all fun and games, and I have no desire. So I'm unteachable because I'm not prepared to put in the dirty reps to get there. But when it comes to the things I am interested in, so there lies the answer. If you've got team members who just don't want to learn, are you wasting your time? Absolutely, yes. And you need to be patient, you need to start small, and you need to show compassion for their fear of failure and all of that, but make it very clear. If you do not make suggestions openly, honestly, and freely all day long, you're going to remain stuck, and that will hold your business back. So I don't want that for you. Everyone can learn. They just need to want to. They need to want to. They just need to have a desire. See you in the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.